Hello guys, my name is Sam Lucas, lecturer at Bridgend College, carpenter extraordinaire and all-round nice guy. So I'm here today to talk to you about the Bridgend College Learner's Voice policy. You're only going to be with me for 10 minutes, sadly, but I'm going to try and get through it as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And hopefully by the end of it, in 10 minutes time, you should know a lot more about this policy. What is a policy? So the official definition is a policy is a set of ideas or plans that is used as a basis for making decisions, especially in politics, economics, or business, and in this particular instance, education. So before we get into it, nobody panic. This is just my kitchen. You're more than welcome. If throughout this interview you do hear some funny noises, it's not me, it's this guy. So this is Rusty. He may be making an appearance later to give us some valuable input and some opinions, Rust. Yeah? What do you reckon? Introductions all out the way. Let's get into it. So the what. What is Bridgend College's Learner Voice Policy all about? Well, the college is committed to putting students first by listening and responding to these views. And it firmly believes in offering students the opportunity to have direct involvement in evaluating and improving the quality of their own learning experience that will have a significant impact on the future development and success of students, the college, and hopefully the local community. So a couple of details. Students are at the heart of the college. It's agreed at all levels within the college that quality student experience is prioritised and is underpinning our student success and achievement as a whole. Opportunities have been developed to try and capture learner voice in creative, innovative ways. We'll have a little bit of a look at that later to ensure that students engage and affect positive change. So my opinion on that is that it's a great idea. I didn't have those kind of things when I was growing up. So I think that's a great way for students to kind of explore a bit more of how they feel about certain things, especially as they're becoming, young adults and moving into adulthood. I think it's great as a confidence builder. And I think it's also a good start for them to start seeing themselves more as equals within the adult world. So we've looked at the what, we've looked at the details of that, you've heard my opinion on that. Now we're going to look at the who it affects and who is responsible for making this policy work. So the who, it's a large policy, obviously. Students are obviously first and foremost, they're at the heart of it. Personal tutors, which are, teacher staff that will focus primarily on tutorial and pastoral elements of curriculum. You've got your curriculum area leads or CALs. They are basically in charge of how the curriculum is developed and delivered, and they're also there to keep an eye on and have input in learner journey, which is how students progress through the year, both in curriculum and how they're doing overall. Curriculum manager, obviously, is the manager of each department, and obviously the student wellbeing team, which are there to ensure that students, as best they can, are feeling good, feeling positive, and if there's any practical needs that have to be taken care of, the student wellbeing team are in place to do that. Students to be aware of the opportunities being made available to them. If they don't know about those opportunities, they can't do anything about them, can't affect change. Once they are aware of those opportunities and what they can and can't do, they can then go on to make informed decisions and choices about the different types of opportunities that are open to them and what could be the best role for them when they are in college learning their curriculum. A key part of that is class representatives, a spokesperson for each tutor group, which is a learner, kind of handpicked by tutors or CALs, teaching staff that have had a lot of contact with them so that they can best kind of guide students that they think would be a good suit for class representatives into the right direction and into that role. So moving on from that, you've got student academic representatives or STARs. They are basically class representatives from the previous academic year. So they're not necessarily always from the same departments or curriculum. They come on board to still have learner voice heard and affect change and input, but also kind of like as a semi kind of mentor for the current class representatives. You've also got your CALs, as mentioned before, they're curriculum area leads, key elements of the curriculum that they teach, how it's delivered, how content is made, and they're also responsibility for quality and progress within students. And obviously you've got your curriculum manager, which is in charge of each department as a whole. So within student wellbeing team, you have what's known as student engagement leads, and they will organise and arrange learner voice training to support students to attend external learner voice training events, conferences, network meetings. And these engagement leads will keep in contact with the STARS, so that's the student academic representatives, throughout the academic year to offer support and send reminders of meetings throughout the year. So there's a lot of people involved in this policy. It's a big policy, and I definitely think it's a good thing that it affects so many people who are involved in the college. So that means that it doesn't become an isolated thing, that it can affect change in every little department. So it kind of is a really effective policy. The only downside I could see to it, potentially, and this is just my opinion, is that because it affects so many people and it involves so many people, when it comes to affecting change, it could take a long time because it's got to go through quite a few hoops until it gets to the end product. But I think that's the only criticism I'd have about it. So we've looked at what the policy is, and we've also looked at who it includes and who it affects. Now we're going to look at the how it works and how it's implemented. There is quite a robust structure in place to support an evidence learner voice and student influence within this policy. Students can be involved in learner voice activities, including Freshers' Fair, learner voice meetings, class representatives and STAR meetings. Meetings between groups of course representatives and STARs to listen and share views with the curriculum staff prior to meeting senior managers, and obviously training opportunities. The reason there's quite a lot of varied activities and training events and practical things put in place is that so we can hit as many student preferences as possible. You might get some students that are very, very positive and outgoing, would love to be the centre of a meeting or being a guest speaker. We've got stuff in place for that. Freshers' Fair and in the learner voice meetings. But we've also got more training opportunities that maybe more introverted students might be keen to go to, build confidence that way. So there's a lot of things down to meetings, maybe the more kind of like boring stuff, but also all the way up to, like I say, Freshers' Fair and lots of activities and events that the college holds throughout the year. Not only is change being able to be affected through talking and meetings, it can also be affected through these varied kind of practical and active events. Opinion on that, the structure is a central part of the policy and provides a stable framework for learner voice to be heard and ideas to be implemented. Unless we have a practical structure in which it can function, it'll fall on its face. Lots of practical events, which I think is a good thing for learners to be involved in and help kind of build engagement. There's a varied range of activities, so it's not all like sport based, it's not all like performing arts based, it's a lot of different things, and this can encourage learners of all abilities and confidence levels. I think overall, it can boost learner involvement as well as engagement through activities and events, and I think probably most importantly, it can provide a sense of ownership for learners when it comes to organising activities and events within the college. It'd be kind of like learner run to a certain degree, so I think that's a really good thing. So there's 6 major outcomes that are on the policy there. So number 1, to develop a democratic learner voice college community where everybody is welcome to contribute, to make changes. Number 2 is to produce valuable data on the quality learner voice opportunities. So the data is important. The college needs to obviously collect data every year on this policy so that we can see maybe areas where it's working, maybe areas where it's not working. Number 3 is to have a recognised student council that is formed by activated students in their various roles, including STARs, class representatives, college ambassadors, and the student board of governors. So by giving students actual official roles and titles, it grounds the policy and makes it kind of real. Number 4, to have regular attendance at training events and meetings with the curriculum area leader or learner journey, curriculum manager, deputy principal and principal throughout the academic year, representing all course areas and academic levels of ability. Now, that basically means that learners that are actively involved in this learner voice policy have an opportunity to be in meetings, be in the same room as management that's closer to them, I guess, their CALs and their curriculum managers, but also up to upper management within the college which is, as mentioned here, the deputy principal and principals. And number 5, to receive high quality feedback, getting high quality feedback at these types of meetings with higher management. And stars or the tips will have the opportunity to give feedback to their course representatives about the outcome of the meeting with the principal and information from the student board of governors. My conclusion on that is, I think that personally, like I said before, I love the idea, learner voice policy and the concept in general. It gives a valuable opportunity to learners and young adults to feel heard and valued, which I think, especially as they're moving in this transition from being youngsters, young adults into adults. I think that's a great thing. That's very important. It's great for learners to explore this and become more confident in having their own opinions listened to, acted upon by adults, authority figures, and organisations. It's great practice and training from real world applications. So I think when it comes to jobs, careers, local politics, sports teams, clubs, this experience they've had in college, having their learner voice heard and being able to input, is only going to be a positive thing as they move into adult life. It's perfect for helping build confidence and identity. It's essential in allowing learners to feel a sense of ownership and contribution over their curriculum areas. Possible drawbacks to this policy could be that decision making on certain subjects could be slowed down or stalled down, but other than that, I think it's great. Encourages purpose and hopefully helps to develop confident and useful adults in business, education, and hopefully society as a whole. So, Bridgend College Learner Voice Policy, I am a fan. Rusty, are you also a fan of Bridgend College Learner Voice Policy? Just a short answer, mate, that's all we need. No? Oh.